The word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward. But Abram said, O sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I don't have a child? And the one who's going to inherit my estate is Eliezer of Damascus. And Abram said, You have given me no children, so a servant in my household will be my heir. Well, that's just kind of strange, because God promised him he was going to give him all kinds of children. Then the word of the Lord came to him, This man will not be your heir, but a son coming from your own body will be your heir. So God's still saying he's going to give him a son. He took him outside and said, Look up at the heavens and count the stars, if you can even count them. Then he said to them, That's how many kids and grandkids you're going to have. All the stars. And that's not even anywhere. Oh, hi, kids. It's Miss Libby from Central Life Church again. I'm glad you came back this week. Remember, we've been talking about Abram and Sarai, and that God had promised Abram and Sarai that they'd have a child, and that Abram would have lots and lots of kids and grandkids and great-grandkids and all the way down the line, a bunch of kids. But he still doesn't have any kids. I was just reading in the Bible again where God promised Abram again he was going to have kids. But Abram's like, who's going to inherit all of my property? I've got lots of property. I'm really wealthy and I've got all this stuff. But I don't have a kid. And a lot of people find it very important to have children these days. But it was really important back in Abram's time to have a child that could inherit all of your stuff and carry on your name. And Abram didn't have a child, and as I was reading this, he was like 86 years old, and he still didn't have a child, and he's like, how am I going to have a child? So Sarai, his wife, decides she's going to take over God's work and make sure that Abram has a child. So she says, okay, Abram, you can have my servant, Hagar, and she's going to be like the surrogate mother and have a child with her, and that will be the heir. Well, then after she did it, then she got mad at Hagar, and she was jealous of her, and she started treating her really bad, and then she blamed Abram. And Abram's like, it was your idea. Do whatever you want with your servant. She's your servant. But it was your idea. So she sends Hagar away. And God finds Hagar kind of crying under a tree. And he says, don't worry. You're going to have a child. You're going to name him Ishmael. And he's also going to be the father of lots and lots of kids, of a whole nation. But he's going to be a wild child. Always stirring up trouble. Always causing trouble. And it's just like, okay, but at least she knew she was going to have a child and everything was going to be okay. And he was going to have lots and lots of kids. But then he goes back to Abram and says, but that child, that's not your heir. The baby that Hagar has, you're going to name that baby Ishmael. And he's going to have lots of children, grandchildren. I'm going to bless him because of you, Abram, because I made you promises. But that's not the child I promised you. I promised you another child. So Abram had to just figure out, okay, I guess I better wait. But he already messed up by having a child that he wasn't supposed to have with somebody that wasn't his wife. And that was not good. So this baby, all of his kids and grandkids, even today, are causing all kinds of ruckus in the world. But Abram needed to wait for the promise. Sometimes, isn't it hard when your mom and dad make you a promise, or your grandparents, and they're like, I'm going to get you this, or I'm going to take you to the park, or I'm going to take you to Disney World, or wherever, and it seems like it takes forever, and that you don't think they're ever going to keep that promise. I know with our daughter, I don't remember, she was little, and she wanted to go to Disney World. And so her dad said, okay, I'm going to take you to Disney World. But I think it took us a couple of years to save up the money and make a way to go, but we finally got her there. So Ashley, our daughter, had to wait like 2 years before we could keep a promise. Sometimes it takes a long time, and when you're little, 2 years is a really, really long time. But if your parent makes you a promise, you just have to have faith that they're going to keep it, just like Abram and Sarai needed to have faith that God was going to keep the promise he made to them. Like I said, at this point, Abram was already 86 years old. Who would have thought he could have a kid at 86? And God said, that's not even the kid I'm promising you. So Abram's going to be a lot older than 86 before he has the kid that God promises him. So you come back next week and you keep watching, and we're going to find out when God keeps that promise to Abram. You have a great week. Love you guys. Come back and see me. Bye.